Wow, building on time? I've been wanting to try to build something for speed for a long time. Let's learn how to build a bed.
Round 1.
I start my bed with the lower part because even a simple bed needs support first, or the mattress part will look like it is floating in the air. I use dark oak stairs and dark oak slabs for the legs and the frame. Dark oak is a good wood for furniture because it has a strong, rich color, and that dark line under the bed makes the softer wool on top stand out more. Stairs are useful for furniture because they shape the corners and make the feet of the bed look less blocky. Slabs help keep the base thinner, and that matters because real beds are not giant cubes. They sit low enough to feel comfortable and easy to climb onto. After the frame is done, I build the blanket from lime wool. Lime is a funny bright color, but it makes the bed look cheerful and easy to notice. Then I place the pillow from white wool. White works great for a pillow because it feels soft, clean, and easy to read against the stronger green blanket. Now, the whole bed looks simple, cozy, and ready for sleeping. Phew, I barely made it on time. Great, my bed is ready.
What? Hello?
Hey, Banana Kid, look, I built it in just 1 minute. Do you like?
Yay!
Really? I am very glad that you like my makeshift construction. Maybe then you can try to build a bed yourself in just 10 minutes?
Ta-da!
They ran to the place. This is where your building will be. Are you ready?
Yay!
Then go ahead.
Round 2.
I can see Banana Kid starting from the front of his bed, and he goes straight for 2 big front legs made from oak planks. That is a pretty smart choice, because oak is one of the easiest woods to read as furniture in Minecraft. It has a warm, natural color, and beds usually look better when the support frame feels like real wood instead of cold stone. He makes the front legs tall and thick, so this bed is already looking more grand than mine. Big legs can make furniture feel stronger, like it could hold a heavy mattress and a lot of blankets without bending. I think Banana Kid wants this bed to look almost like a display bed in a giant bedroom. He keeps the shape simple, which is good because furniture works best when the structure is clear first. If he started with too many little details before the frame was ready, the whole thing could turn into a mess very fast. So yes, he is quiet as always, but the first move is solid. Now Banana Kid starts the top outline of the bed, and this is where the fun part begins. He uses yellow wool for the blanket area. Wool is exactly the right block for a blanket because it looks much softer than concrete or planks. Soft materials should look soft, and that is a very basic but important design rule. The yellow color makes the bed feel warm and happy, almost like it belongs in a cartoon room. He builds the upper contour first instead of filling everything in right away, and that is a good habit. Then Banana Kid adds the coolest part on top of the blanket. He builds a creeper face out of black wool. I like this a lot because a big plain blanket can look boring, but one strong graphic turns it into themed furniture right away. Black on yellow has great contrast, so the creeper face is easy to read from far away. That is useful in Minecraft, where giant builds often need bold, simple patterns instead of tiny details. A creeper face also fits really well on a blanket because blankets often have printed designs in real life. He places the face on the upper surface so it reads like a proper bed cover and not like a random wall decoration. The face is made from very simple dark shapes, and that is exactly why it works. Good icon design is usually simple. If he tried to build a super detailed creeper face here, it would probably become messy. This one is clear, blocky, and very Minecraft, which is kind of perfect. After the blanket face is in place, Banana Kid moves to the back and starts the pillow outline from gray wool. Gray is an interesting choice for the first pillow contour because it gives the shape a shadow line and helps separate the pillow from the brighter blanket in front. If the pillow started fully white right away, some of the edges might disappear too much while he is still planning the form. Building a contour first is helpful because pillows need a clear top and side shape. A pillow should feel soft and raised, not like another flat blanket layer. Then he goes underneath and finishes more of the wooden base. He adds the back legs and starts closing the bottom of the bed with planks. This is important because the bed needs support at both ends. If only the front had visible legs, the whole piece would look weak. Furniture design is a lot like small architecture. The base has to carry the upper weight in a way that makes visual sense, even when everything is made from square blocks. Now Banana Kid fills the blanket on the sides and the front with more yellow wool. This step really matters because an outline alone can look thin and unfinished. Once the sides are closed, the blanket starts feeling like a real thick cover lying over the bed. Wool keeps that soft look from every angle, which is why it is still the best choice here. I also like that he does not suddenly switch to another bright color for the edges. Keeping the same yellow around the sides makes the blanket feel like one single object instead of many pieces stacked together. From the front view, the bed now has a strong shape. You can clearly see the wooden support below and the softer blanket above. That difference between hard and soft materials is one of the main reasons the build works. Hard blocks for the frame, soft blocks for the bedding. It is a very simple idea, but simple ideas are often the strongest when you are building giant furniture. Then Banana Kid goes back to the top and fills all the remaining empty spaces around the creeper face with more yellow wool. This is a good finishing step because patterns always look better when the background around them is complete and even. The creeper face now sits in the center of a smooth, bright blanket, so the whole top surface reads clearly. Centering the face is also smart. If the face sat too far to one side, the blanket would feel off balance. Symmetry is useful on furniture because furniture usually needs to look calm and stable. I think Banana Kid is making this bed feel almost like a themed kids' bed, and that works really well for a fun Minecraft video. The blanket is now the main visual focus, while the wood supports and the pillow frame stay in supporting roles. That kind of hierarchy is good design. One part of the build should grab attention first, and the rest should help it. Here, the yellow creeper blanket is definitely doing that job. For the final part, Banana Kid fills the pillow from every side with light gray wool. This is a really nice choice. Light gray still feels soft and fabric-like, but it stands apart from the yellow blanket just enough to make the pillow easy to read. A bed needs clear separation between the blanket and the pillow because those two parts have different shapes and jobs. The pillow should feel softer and slightly raised, like it supports the head, while the blanket should spread wider across the body of the bed. By covering all the pillow sides, he makes it look full and finished instead of like a thin panel at the back. Now the bed has strong oak legs, a bright themed blanket, and a soft light gray pillow.
Ta-da! Yay!
Where did everyone run off to? Hey guys, what's all that noise?
Banana Kid and I are building a bed on time, JJ. Who did it better?
Oh, both of your buildings look great, but I think it's up to the audience to decide who did the best.
Yes, JJ, you're right. Maybe then you have comments on the construction of Banana Kid?
Yes, there are a couple of comments. Your bed looks very hard. It doesn't have enough volume.
I totally agree with you, JJ. Maybe then you can build your bed in 15 minutes?
Okay, then let's run to the place.
JJ, good luck to you. We'll wait in the house.
That's good?
Thanks, guys. Then I'm starting. Round 3. I am not building a normal bed today. I am building a bed with another bed hanging above it, so the whole structure has to look dramatic, but still believable. I begin with one of the bed legs using gray concrete, black concrete, and light gray concrete. These colors work well together because they give me the look of metal supports instead of simple wood furniture. Since one bed is going to hang over another one, the lower structure needs to feel stronger than a regular bedroom bed. Gray tones are useful for that because they suggest steel, brackets, and industrial support. I shape the leg carefully so it looks wide enough to carry weight. In design, lower supports should always look stronger than the soft parts above them. If the leg looked too thin, the viewer would stop believing the rest of the build. Even in a fantasy furniture project, visual physics matters. The darker black pieces help separate edges, while the lighter gray gives highlights and keeps the shape from turning into a dull block. After the first support area is clear, I begin the hanging system between the two beds. I build the first chain using light gray concrete and gray concrete, forming large link shapes that look fairly realistic. This is an important part of the whole idea, because if the chain does not look strong enough, the upper bed will seem unsafe. I keep the links thick and rounded as much as Minecraft allows. Big chain links are better here than tiny ones because the structure is large and larger support pieces make more sense for a heavy suspended object. I also alternate the grays a little so the links do not blend into one flat shape. A chain needs readable overlap, where one part looks in front and another looks behind. That overlap helps the eye understand how the links connect. I place this first chain in a corner where it can clearly show the path of support from the upper bed down to the lower structure. It already makes the project feel less like furniture and more like a giant hanging installation. Now, I move to the upper bed and start the blanket. I build it from red wool because wool has the right soft texture for bedding, and red is a strong color that makes the hanging bed easy to notice. A suspended bed should feel special, so giving it a bold blanket color helps it stand out from the structural gray below. On top of that red blanket, I build a creeper face from black concrete. Black concrete is perfect for a graphic symbol because it has a flat, deep color and sharp edges. Just like on Banana Kid's bed, the creeper face acts like a printed blanket design. But here, the red background makes it even more intense. Black on red is very dramatic, and that suits the unusual idea of a bed hanging above another bed. I place the face where it will read clearly from above and from the front. This top surface is one of the main attraction points, so the pattern needs to be simple, centered, and easy to recognize immediately. With the face in place, I start thickening and finishing the rest of the blanket. I close the sides, front, and rear of the upper bed using red concrete, dark red blocks, and light gray blocks in a few selected places. This mix is useful because the top of a blanket should stay soft, but the sides can use slightly firmer looking materials to suggest folds, trim, or layered bedding. Red concrete gives cleaner side surfaces than wool, while the darker red tones add depth and stop the blanket from feeling too flat. A little light gray works like a highlight and separates some edges. On large furniture builds, material variation is very important. One color with one texture can make big surfaces look lifeless. By mixing similar reds and a few lighter accents, I make the blanket feel more dimensional. I still keep the colors controlled, because too many random tones would ruin the clean cartoon look. The upper bed now has a strong top pattern and a much fuller body from every angle. I return to the front and build a second hanging chain, this time on the right corner. It follows the same idea as the first one, because repeated support systems are essential for trust in the design. One chain might look decorative, but two chains on the front corners immediately begin to explain how the upper bed is suspended. In structural design, symmetry helps distribute visual weight. If the upper bed were held only on one side, it would feel unstable. By mirroring the chain position, I make the hanging load look far more controlled. I again use light gray and gray concrete so the chain matches the first one perfectly. Matching support details are important because they make the whole piece feel engineered rather than improvised. The front view now clearly shows two strong hanging lines carrying the upper frame. This is one of those cases where repeated shapes do a lot of work. The more consistent the supports are, the more believable the whole idea becomes. Back on the upper level, I continue finishing the blanket with red concrete and red wool where needed. Then I move to the rear and begin the pillow. I first outline the pillow shape with white concrete. This is a very useful step because a pillow needs a clean silhouette before it gets filled. I still have a lot of time left. I definitely have to do everything in time. White concrete creates a crisp border that keeps the shape readable against the red blanket in front of it. After the contour is done, I fill the pillow with white wool. That That mix works well because the concrete edge gives the pillow structure while the wool center keeps it soft and comfortable. This is a nice little material lesson. Sometimes the best result comes from combining a harder block for shape and a softer block for the middle. A pillow should feel full, raised, and separate from the blanket, and using two white materials helps achieve that. The upper bed now has all the key bedding parts. A dramatic creeper blanket, and a bright pillow that looks soft enough to actually sleep on. Now, I build the two remaining chains at the back, using the same pattern as the front ones. This completes the four-corner suspension system and makes the upper bed finally feel secure. 4 supports are much easier for the eye to trust than 2, especially when the object being held is large and heavy-looking. Each chain follows the same size and color logic, so the whole hanging system remains consistent. I've got half the time left. I'm kind of in time. Consistency is a huge part of engineering design. If one chain were thicker or placed at a different angle, the structure could feel accidental. By repeating the same link style, I create a controlled support frame around the upper bed. The back chains also improve the silhouette from side angles. Without them, the rear could look empty and unsupported. Now, the viewer can walk around the build and still understand how the bed is being held up. Even though it is fantasy furniture, the support logic remains clear from almost every view, and that makes the project much stronger. With the hanging bed system in place, I move down and complete the other lower legs using the same gray, black, and light gray concrete palette. The lower bed needs a strong visual presence because it acts like the foundation of the whole structure. If the bottom looked weak, the upper suspended bed would steal all the attention and the build would feel top-heavy. I keep the legs broad and industrial, like they belong to a giant modern furniture frame instead of a simple wooden bed. The repeated gray tones, again, help create shadows and edges without introducing too many new colors. That keeps the structure readable. A good lower frame should feel grounded and calm, letting the red bedding above become the main bright feature. In furniture design, the support parts often work best when they are neutral. Neutral tones let the softer fabrics, decorations, and living areas become the stars. That is exactly what I am doing here. The lower support system now feels complete enough to carry the rest of the design visually. Next, I use commands to fill the lower underside of the lower bed with gray concrete. This is a perfect use of commands because the area is broad and repetitive, and there is no need to place every block by hand when the design decision is already made. Gray concrete gives the lower bed a solid modern shell. After that, I use more commands to help complete the lower bed body and add red concrete sidewalls. The red sidewalls connect the lower level back to the bedding theme above, so the whole project does not become all gray below and all red above. This balance between neutral structure and warm accent color is important. Too much gray would make the build feel cold, while too much red would make it lose its support logic. I also make sure the lower bed looks thick enough to read as a real platform and not just a hollow box. Thickness matters in furniture. A platform bed should feel like it can hold weight comfortably, and solid sidewalls help communicate that strength. At the back on the first level, I build a small raised platform from white concrete and white concrete stairs. This step creates a special little area attached to the lower bed structure. White is a good color here because it stands apart from the gray lower shell and the red bedding, making the platform feel like its own clean zone. Stairs are useful because they create a gentle rise instead of a harsh block jump. A small raised platform feels more inviting when the transition onto it is smooth. I surround this platform with white fences. Fences work really well as protective rails because they keep the space open while still making it feel safe. Since this build already uses the idea of hanging furniture and elevated parts, railings are a smart visual safety feature. The platform now feels like a tiny balcony or lounge edge attached to the bed structure. It adds variety to the project and turns the build from a simple bed sculpture into more of a giant bedroom environment. After that, I go back to the hanging supports and begin filling some of the chain areas with light gray concrete. This makes the links look thicker and more solid, almost like a hybrid between decorative chain and rigid support frame. That is actually helpful for the build because giant hanging furniture needs more than a delicate thin line to feel believable. By adding more light gray material into the links, I increase the visual strength of the support system. The chain still reads as linked sections, but now it looks safer and more engineered. In large builds, sometimes pure realism has to bend a little in favor of clarity and stability. A perfectly thin chain might be more accurate, but a thicker support reads better from a distance and makes the upper bed feel less risky. This is a common design choice in Minecraft. The goal is not always exact realism. The goal is a clear and convincing visual story. Here, the stronger chain frame does exactly that job. Oh no, time flies so fast, I didn't even notice. It is high time for furniture. On the white platform, I place a bed, a nightstand, and a lamp, so the raised area becomes a cozy sleeping corner of its own. I also add anvils with leaves and a carpet to make it feel more alive and comfortable. In the gray lower section, I place a yellow and red carpet. Just a little more. There's not much left. A television, a sofa, wardrobes for clothes and shoes, bookshelves, an enchanting table, I'm doing great! Last minute, I have to hurry. And armor stands with armor. This mix turns the lower part into a full living area instead of only a support shelf. I organize the furniture by function so the space stays easy to read. Sitting and relaxing happen near the sofa and TV, storage stays with the wardrobes, and magic or study stays with the shelves and enchanting table. Then I create a passage and add a ladder so the giant bed can actually be climbed. Access is very important in any build with height. Once the ladder is there, the whole structure becomes something people could really use, not just a strange floating red bed in the air. Great! My bed is ready! It's time for me to show it to the guys.
What?
Wow, JJ, you've got such an unusual bed. I'd like to try sleeping on one.
Thank you guys. I am very glad that you liked my building. Friends, be sure to write in the comments whose building you liked the most. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.